Hello friends, good week. How are you today? Vladimir here with you, and this is the weekly review for the last week of March 2013. This weekly review is going to be a bit tricky. Why? Because during the weekend, as we know, there is a vote from the parliament from Cyprus about all the requirements from the ECB, from the Troika actually, regards the bailout they are waiting for. Uh, so what I'm going to do this week is a bit different from normal weekly review. Uh, I'm going to prepare double scenario. What could happen if the market understands the news from Cyprus as positive, okay, translate it into positive environment? What will happen if the market will say, aha, so Cyprus, that's the beginning of the big trigger uh, we are in front of. Okay. Before I do that, I just want try to explain what's going on actually around the world, Cyprus and everything, of course, because I've been asked about that a lot during the last week actually, and I want to cover in simple words with my English, right? So it's going to be very simple. I'm sorry if I simplify too much. I just want to explain how I see the things actually. I'll go um, with the beginning of the entire story. As we remember, Iceland, for example, crashed, right? It happened several years ago, of course, but still, Iceland crashed. Why? Because of the huge debt. Now, after Iceland and after some more crises around the world, the big banks, right, and governments understood, all right, we have to help them. Now, what's actually what going on? Uh, the thing is very simple. I will try to explain you how I explain it to myself and to people that close to me. Let's say mm, your friend, okay, the one you trust, ask for money from you. Okay, ask for money from you, and you have money, and he says, Vlad, I want open restaurants, I open things. I need, I want to open many businesses. I need your help with the money. You trust this friend. He shows you wonderful business plan, and he convinced you he is ready for such step. You think for yourself, why not, right? If he succeeds, my success will be bigger because I will also enjoy from percentage with doing nothing. You give him money, everything goes beautiful, businesses grow, people keep buying, keep visiting his businesses, but at the same time prices are going higher and higher. When prices are going higher, right, what happened? The buy power, the purchase power of the clients is going lower. Less clients start to come to business. What happened then? The business start to profit less and less and less until he understands he cannot pay you the percentage. Then he comes to you, Vlad, I'm very sorry, but I need more money. Now you have, I need more money to survive. Now you have several opportunities, but the main two, you can bring him more money under other conditions, because all right, if I give you more money, I will expect more return, right? So or you just can tell him, you know what, close the business, loss is a loss. But you already invested and you don't want to lose your money, so you bring more and you put some pressure on him. He's happy because all right, his business can survive. He thinks he will survive the bad period, right? But what he does not understand, and probably you also, or me also, right, is that exactly with that, by getting more loan with bigger percentage to return, he just dig his problems bigger. After a while, he still has to pay you. Clients still don't waste the money they used to because of many reasons, because the prices mainly went higher. And then he comes to you, Vlad, I need more money, but you don't have more money. Now you have another, again, choices. You can go to the bank and borrow money, or you can close the business with a loss. What are you doing? You go to the bank, because you're already in a big hole. Why should you accept this loss right now, right? So you go to the bank, you explain the situation, and bank tells you, you know what, we will give you the loan. And such story keeps going and going. He comes to you, you don't want to lose money, you want to give a chance to business to survive, and you keep bringing money. The bank keep borrowing to you under worse conditions until some stage. Okay, I will go here with a wild imagination, okay, but just go with me. The bank, if you are important to him, the bank tells you, Vlad, I'm sorry, right? I'm sorry, but I can't give you more money. You convince him, you have to help me, so he goes to the other bank or to the main bank, okay? And it keeps going and going and going until the debt is growing and growing and growing until someone will have to pay the debt. Normally, who pays the debt are other people. Exactly the people who stopped visiting the businesses of your friend. They have to pay the debt of the banks, of you, and everyone else who made this bubble big. Now, this bubble is happening live. I don't know on what stage it is. I really don't know. This bubble, could explode today, or could explode in 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 7 years. I don't know, but it's pretty clear. This is exactly the situation going on, as I explained to you. Of course, in a very, very simple way, but that's what's going around. Now, regarding Cyprus, Cyprus has two main options. One, leave Eurozone. If they leave Eurozone, I'm not sure it's going to affect the markets, actually. I'm not sure it's going to affect the Eurozone. Maybe, you know what? Maybe it's going to be even better, because less trouble will be there, right? Remember the example I just, the metaphor, right? I just give you now with your friends. Okay, let's say he has 10 businesses. One of them brings only troubles. Why don't get rid of them? Of this one, right? And just try to recover the other. So this is kind of Cyprus. This is kind of Greek right now also. This is kind of Ireland, right? So I hope someone will be clever and let Cyprus go. Because you know what? When one business has problems and you put everything into that just to recover that, you don't have enough abilities to recover the more important places. Businesses. In other words, like Italy or like Spain or France or even Germany that show slow down. So if Cyprus leaves, they will have to go to their own currency, but their debts that they will have to pay are on euros. So they don't want it, and this brings us to the second opportunity they have, and that's accept the Troika, right? Accept Germany, accept their demands, accept what they require, right? So what they actually want, they want taxes on deposits, and this is the last thing to agree about. They want more taxes on companies, which anyway could bring some, a big noise, could cause a big noise across Cyprus and across Europe then, because many companies that goes to Cyprus because of the small taxes will now take their money. Okay, they want to limit the banks and more and more and more. So Cyprus is with the back to the wall, right? And this is pretty much what's going around. Now it's Cyprus. The other day it's another country. I don't know why, but no one is talking about Luxembourg, for example. Her debts are 20 times bigger than the GDP, right? While Cyprus is only 8 or 9. So there are so many things that are hidden from our eyes, the simple crowd eyes. But remember the example I gave you. Okay, remember the friend that asked money from you. and his business is going bad. Okay, what will happen then? Right now, Europe is acting like a friend, like you, when your friend is asking for money. That's kind of how Europe is acting right now. That's kind of like Bernanke is acting right now. That's kind of Japan and Britain and more acting right now. They think, don't worry, I'll find the money. Who is going to pay for that? Will we are we moving forward to the day that the main countries will just erase the debt and disappear the money? Could that happen? You just imagine this scenario. Again, as I told you, I don't want to sound too much dramatical, right? I just know that when you pump the system with too much money, this is exactly like pumping, in simple words, your friends with money. All goes perfect until the people that have to make your business grow stop buying, stop purchasing, stop visiting your places, and that's what's going there. People have less purchase ability. More millionaires from one side, but less power to buy. Don't forget, there are only several percent of big millionaires, but they cannot eat on all restaurants, they cannot buy all the clothes in the world, etc, etc, etc. After all, during the entire history, the main power are we, the middle class or the small class of people. That's the power. And everyone, despite the talking, keeps ignoring us. And of course I treat myself to the middle class. Okay? I'm not a billionaire, alright? And you know what? I don't want to be. With all the things that are going there, you know, the faster you grow, the faster you fall. No. Right? And that's what's going around, friends. This is exactly what is going around. Right? When this bubble is going to explode, I have no idea, and I don't care. Right? But I just wanted to explain you in simple words what's going around. And now, pardon me for taking the time to do that. We will go back to the market now. Okay, I'm sorry for my limited English while I explained that. Of course, you know, I'm not familiar with all the words and all the vocabulary when it comes to such important things. But that's how I see the things. That's how I understand it. And for me, this is the same for me, and for well, most of my friends. I guess for some of you too, this is the easiest way to understand. When it's close to us, okay? There is a GDP. There are so much more things when it comes to countries. Why too complicated things? Let's keep it simple. You borrow money to problematic friends, it will bring you into problem, unless you accept for a loss. Show me one country that accepted a loss on this period. No one. Everyone thinks they know better. They don't. They don't. You cannot never relive or refresh businesses and refresh economy with borrowing more money and under worse conditions. You can delay the D-Day. You can delay that by bringing more and more and more money, but one day you'll have to face it. Now there are many people talking about Bitcoin, etc., which doubled their value in the last period. Friends, we are living important days. That's the main thing. We are living now. We live during very important period. Right? The financial revolution will happen in front of our eyes. Not today, maybe not tomorrow. It will take time, but that's what everything leads to. But we're here to trade. Last week I offered you some trades. The main was the pound New Zealandian. If you remember, I told you after this scenario, every retrace down on the 4-hour chart, remember here, every retrace down should be considered as opportunity for a buy, right? Based on the convergence we have had, we got this up move and we got a retrace inside, so we could enjoy from a profit here. It's more than 100 points after all. Now it's moving down. This is still acting like double inverted head and shoulders. I still think as long as this level, okay, as long as 181 will hold, pound New Zealandian could turn around and push all the way up again. If 181 will be broken and we will move down, then 180, then 178 and 175 are levels to watch. But still, for a real up move, 184, 185 have to be broken in order for the pair gain the momentum to go to a 189, 190, closer to the 200 moving average. I've been talking about the dollar yen, and I told you I think it will go down, so we have to look for sell opportunities. I still think it has to break below 94 in order to continue lower. Will that happen? Not sure. Watching on the weekly chart now, it is bouncing from the 2 moving average. If it breaks, it could go all the way to the 200 to the 20 MA, or maybe even lower. If it's not breaking 94, it could bounce from here, go for a weekly flag, okay, here around the gap around 94, so moving inside like 200 pips range, or turning up and going all the way to 97, 98 level, maybe even 100 level, bringing on the continuing divergence to the next step and preparing the ground then for a much deeper correction. So my opinion actually is still this week is exactly the same as the previous week and the previous period. Right? We are on the top. We are creating a top. Could it go to 97, 98, maybe 100? Of course. But for a down move, it has to place itself below 94. But I think the higher, the clearer the cycle will be. Remember the simple thing: we are on 20 candles right on weekly chart. It's a pretty rare event. Going back in history, last time it happened was in 2004, 3 and 4. Right? And we remember the big retrace came after that. Before that, it was in 2000, and we remember what happened after that. Okay, going back, it happened on 98, then 97. It is a historical event, and despite all the intervention, I still think and convinced the market will do what the market has to do. Nothing is moving without a cycle. Of course, the same regards the yen. This is my opinion about that. Now, I want to go over a few opportunities which I consider the best opportunities. Number one is the pound dollar. I explained my opinion on the previous week. I said based on this 20 candles right, it has to move to the opposite band. Well, it did. After too many zigzags during the week, right? Too many zigzags during the week, it did. It did reach the 152 plus. Is this the end? Well, again, depends on Cyprus, depends on the European decision, depends on the fundamental things. There is a bearish hidden divergence between these two highs. But, do you remember secret number 3? Based on secret number 3, there is a room to go up to 154 or maybe even higher. And I still think it is able to push higher. Around 154, maybe a bit lower, maybe a bit higher. Get ready for a sale. But, could a sale happen right now? Yes, and this is exactly why. Draw this trend line and follow that. This is the opportunity for a sale. Okay, there's a monster trend line on the RSI and on the prices, right? Following the pair, it could continue on a volumeless move closer to 154, maybe a bit higher, and then following this monster divergence on the 4-hour chart, following the hidden divergence on a daily chart, bring some aggressive buy. From some insiders news, I know that the banks are looking to sell pound dollar on different levels around 152.40, which is now around 153.30, and the main part is 154.40, 154.50. There are many orders for a sell dollar from banks. Okay, but this is again from insider news. I cannot say where and how and what. That's only thing I can say. Now, let's regard the pound dollar. Another pound pair is the euro pound. Well, euro pound is very tricky. Do you remember my line? I guess you are. I said not once, I am convinced the euro pound is going to create a top and push it go all the way towards this line. In other words, I think euro pound is aiming this range. Okay, here. This is exactly what it aims. Now, I told you not once. I think that somewhere during April, right? Maybe during May, it is going to reach this level. Now, the question is if it's going straight or if it's going to push back up first and then retrace down. For me, it's very possible that the euro pound from here will push higher. Let me explain why. What is this? This is a bearish convergence, which means euro pound could push up first of all before making the next drop, right? Now, watching the 4-hour chart, we can see pretty clear that there is a channel. If this channel makes the break up, most likely it's going up. It could go to the resistance around 086.10 and 086.20, or it could go all the way to close the gap. If it pushes lower straight from here, then I do think we are going down for a Bollinger Band duplication from here, 200, 200, which means all the way to this important range right here, closer to this trend line. This is my opinion regards the euro pound. Watching the weekly chart, this is also around 20 moving average and even bit lower. Here we can go and create a bullish hidden divergence. And from here, I assume the euro pound will be up again. Okay, so double scenario we have: push up from here and then bam, and another strong wave down, or a straight move towards the trend line, towards the 200 moving average, preparing the ground here for a stop and then pushing up again. If it pushes up, as one of my followers on the live trading room and the club said, then it is going to be, Igor, if you hear that, thank you. It could be double head and shoulders, right? Double head and shoulders here. So definitely possible. Again, many things are depends on Cyprus. So these are the main 2 pound opportunities I see, and another one is pound Canadian. I want the pound Canadian to keep pushing. I want it to reach 156.20, 30 at least. Then we will have band to band move with a hidden divergence, and then it means right from here up to 157 plus, pound CAD could prepare the ground for a huge retrace down for something like 150 or maybe even 300 points down move again. Okay? So pound Canadian in between 156.20, 30 up to 157 plus. Start to pay attention for that combination of hidden divergence with 4-hour chart monster divergence. You want to play safe, draw this trend line like in the pound dollar and follow this one. It could keep going, keep pushing, then bam, all the way down again. These are the triple pound pairs I have on my list. I've been talking about Aussie against Canadian for a while. Well, also I'm the same opinion. Aussie Canadian is creating a high. I think it's still able to reach 107.40, maybe 108 before the big drop down. There is a continuing divergence on the daily chart. RSI is aiming at top. In other words, make it also simple. Draw a trend line here. A break below this trend line even starts from here. A break below this trend line should open the doors. This is actually could be also followed like a wedge, as you can see, right? A break below that could open the doors for a down move, like 100 points, 150 points down at least. Then, if it manages to break 105, then it will most likely open the doors all the way to 104, maybe even lower. So I think Aussie Canadian is making a top. Look for a break of the trend line, or look to sell the high, like 107, 40, 50, maybe even higher with a pattern. That's all. I think down. I think it's stopping. Another Aussie pair is Euro Aussie. I think we are in front of a bottom, at least for some period. It is bouncing from the 200 moving average. We might push up again to head and shoulders, okay? Like here, shoulder, head. We can go now for another shoulder. Right? Very, very able, very potentially. So definitely look for buy opportunities in case. And there is also gap to close. You see that? There is also gap to close, which is like 100 pips higher. In case it drops down from here, then pay attention to 123, 121.60, and then 120. For long run, I still think it's very able to reach the 120, of course. But right now, I think it is moving towards the 126.50, maybe even a bit higher, up to 127 plus again. That's my opinion. Again, if not from here, then let it go and attack the next levels with patterns. There is a continuing divergence on a daily chart. There is a bullish hidden divergence on weekly chart. That's why I'm kind of convinced it is creating a bottom. If not from here, from the next stops, with the next patterns, with the next divergence, turn positive. This is the next opportunity. Of course, same about the Aussie franc, just different. Okay, just the opposite, sorry, not different. Just opposite. It's pretty much same story like Euro Aussie, just bearish one. So that's about the Aussie pairs. The main one, of course, is Aussie Canadian. I've been talking about Aussie Kiwi on the last time. Pay attention to this one. It is very able to create a bullish hidden divergence, maybe around the 20 MA, maybe a bit lower. Very able to create a bullish divergence here, bullish hidden divergence, and the combination with the 4-hour continuing divergence forming from here or from a bit lower could provide a very nice buy opportunity. So I would say stay tuned for these levels. While the last one I could accept is 123.15. This is the deepest move I could accept before the pair goes up again. In case it retraces from these levels, I think it's able to go above the 127 again. So these are my main opportunities. The Forex. I will not analyze indices this week. I'll just say in general, I think they're still able to push for a few more. I still think they're able to push bit more for a few more weeks before the huge retrace. Anyway, just to make it simple, for the Dow Jones it has to break below 14,280. For Nasdaq it has to break the trend line, and for S&P 500 it has to break below 1530 in order to gain bearish momentum. I still think there is a room on this bullish market right now. I still think it's able to continue higher for a few more weeks, but remember what I said, the higher, not the better. The higher, the worse the financial markets. I am in a sell, and I will not hesitate to sell more. whenever the next divergence will be created, combined with weekly and daily charts. For me, it's like an investment. I think, well, I'm actually convinced we are on the top. Pay attention to these levels. Alright, this is a weekly chart. We are out of critical average true range levels. For me, S&P and all other indices are moving towards into the biggest trouble ahead of them. Again, I don't want to sound bad. I'm just talking from the markets and the simple logics. One interesting opportunity is the natural gas, which is facing a resistance right here. The next resistance for this one is around 410, 420. The next one is around 430, 440. I think it's stopping on a daily chart. We are in front of potential daily 20 candles right. So I think it's still able to push a bit higher, then go with this continuing divergence. RSI is on the top already. From my point of view, it's going down from here to the 20 MA at least, or it's going to push here and then going all the way down to 370 or even lower. From my point of view, natural gas is creating a clear top. As I said, I'm not going to analyze this week indices and stocks, mainly because I think they're going to be directly affected with the things from Cyprus. I will put a post on my blog if and when things happen, so stay tuned for potential update during the week. And once again, now I want to thank you, friends, for your time. I hope I did not confuse you too much with my explanation at the beginning, and I didn't cause you headache with my economical review. I just wanted to share with you very simply how I see this thing. Of course, again, I'm not any economy genius, not at all. I don't try to be this one. I'm just a simple citizen like everyone, and I consider myself to the middle class, and I pay exactly like everyone else all the taxes, and that's why I think, as I told you, that's why I make some metaphor so we all could understand what actually is going around us. So again, if I caused you a headache, pardon me. That wasn't the goal, it wasn't the idea. Again, thank you very much for watching this video. I wish you a wonderful trading week. Yours, Vladimir Ribakov.